Alright, so the last time I did a video on this boat that I'm restoring, I left off at making new hardpoints. Now, a lot of these old boats, they didn't have the modern hardpoints that we do now. They had these awful pieces of webbing. And they kind of worked 20 years ago, but I wouldn't use that in a climbing harness. I certainly don't want it on my boat. So I'm going to show you how to make new ones and swap them out without it being a total pain. So, here we go. So the tools we're going to use today are A, propane torch, B, a pair of vice grips with just a junk drill bit we don't care about clamped in as tight as we can get it, screwdriver with the actual right size. Don't go out there and totally butcher these screws. Use the large size Phillips and get it done right. Otherwise, you're going to be dead before you started. I don't have a silver Sharpie, but that would have been the play. This is just some gloss white stuff, paint, I don't know, from my ex-girlfriend. We're gonna make it work. And some nylon strapping. So, here we go. Now for starters, we've got to get this thing out, right? Bear in mind, this is mounted more like a seat than anything else that you're used to seeing. There's a metal plate underneath. If we pull these screws straight out, we're just gonna drop it out and we are toasted. So, back the first screw all the way out, leave this one completely alone, pull the nylon out of the way, completely tighten this back down again, loosen, and then remove, and then we're out. Do not just yank the screws out, you'll screw yourself. There's step one. Now let's yank this out and we'll be free. Okay, all disassembled, this is out, and you can see down in that hole the metal plate that would have dropped out if we just yanked the screws out. So, good thing we did it this way. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as a template on our new webbing, and with the white pen, mark out the length that we need and the exact location of the holes, and then we're going to cut it off and start poking holes through. So now I've got where I'm gonna cut marked and my 4 holes that I'm gonna burn through, and we are now done with the old strap. All right, well, this is where the rubber meets the road. What I'm doing now is I'm heating up a junk piece of metal that I'm going to use to poke through the strap to make the holes that I need. If you have a rough edge, we're also going to just quickly burn it so that the nylon doesn't fray. Obviously, safety last. In my case, don't do what I'm doing. And if you hurt yourself, I don't want to hear about it. So, just slowly working through, right in the spot where I marked. There's 1. Two. And yeah, you get the idea. 3 and 4. Obviously, just be a little careful, take your time. If you've never done this before, maybe ask for a little bit of help, but it's not the end of the world. This is sort of the OG way of doing things, especially if you're from the C1 side of the equation. Boom. So now what I'm gonna do is just cut the end off. Whoop, got myself. Cut the end off and burn that edge so it's not live. So close we can taste it. So we have reassembled this loop and pinned the back in. Now again, we know that plate's not going to go anywhere. Yank this out, put it through, shallow on the threads, flop it down, and screw it in. When you're all set, the finished product is going to look clean, just like the day it went in, and you're going to actually have a little bit more safety in your boat. Side note, at least on my boat, both handles were all of the same dimensions when I was templating out. So if you wanted to, you could just make 2 back to back. And really, if you're gonna make 2, make like 4. And then you have a spare set to give to a buddy. And hope you enjoyed that.